Hi, I'm Camille from YodlePop. In this demo, I'll show you how to update your HubSpot deal records or any other object like contacts with valuable context in history using HubSpot's native import tool. When migrating from another CRM or project management tool, you may have run into the issue of importing things but struggling to bring over multiple engagement details like meeting notes, for example, or other legacy updates, and making sure they're all linked to the same record instead of creating multiple records. The secret here is using HubSpot's record IDs. These IDs ensure that your data stays connected, even when updating multiple deal records, capturing the record IDs, and importing multiple notes into HubSpot. This ensures they're correctly associated with the right deal or any other object you're working with. For example, if you're importing notes and you don't use the record ID, HubSpot may create duplicate records, thinking you're importing new deals instead of just updating existing ones. The way to prevent that is by making sure that when you're importing, you're using record IDs to update existing records and keep everything clean. So let's go ahead and dive into the process of how you do this so that you can attach multiple notes from another CRM into the same deal record in HubSpot. So the first thing you're going to want to do is most likely import your records. If you're starting brand new from your old CRM into the new HubSpot CRM, before you're able to import your multiple notes or other activities to one deal record in this example, you're going to want to just import your deals first. And the reason is for what I mentioned before, which is you want HubSpot to assign each of those deals the record ID. So the example I first spoke of, which would be the mistaken way to do it, is if I just try to have my brand new import all mapped out and ready to go in my sheet, where HubSpot has never before seen these records, and I just have the different fields like the name and the deal stage, pipeline amount, etc. And I just try to multiply these, thinking, oh, they all have the same information, so HubSpot's going to know that I want two notes to go with the same record. Well, HubSpot won't do that because HubSpot's really good at making sure your data is very accurate. So it will say, hey, you might have two deals that are exactly the same. That can happen. And so it could be for the same company, it's at the same stage, it's even the same amount, etc. So HubSpot doesn't want to assume that you're trying to do something on one record. So that's where the record IDs come in. So this would be like my brand new import of brand new information into HubSpot. Once I brought that in without the notes, of course, then I need to export that so that I can then have my record IDs, right? So this is actually this is an example of one record that I want to update in HubSpot. I originally brought this record in here, and then I downloaded my records from HubSpot. And in this sheet, I'm just showing one record that I want to update, and I want to give it 6 notes. So the key here is that I have the same record ID right here. So for every note I want to add to the same record, I want to create a multiple line, but be sure to use the same record ID. So now that I've done that, so that I can go back into HubSpot, update my record. So here's my one record. Let's show you what that looks like here. Here's my one record. It just has one note on it right now. I want to make sure that this record gets all 6 of the notes. So in my previous attempt, when I didn't use a record ID, I got 2 duplicate records with test note and test note 2. So what I meant to do was do test note and test note 2 all on the same record. So let's see what it looks like when you do it the correct way by importing your deal records with the record ID. So I'm going to go ahead and import that. Okay, so to import that, we're going to go to Data Integration, Import a File. Now that I'm doing my second import where I want to add multiple activities to individual records, I've got my note field here. And so I'm ready with that. And I'm also ready with my record ID. Now, let's say I had more of these. I would, again, just want to make sure I'm using the same record ID. Let's say I wanted to do Delta. I would just make sure I add Delta here and have the record ID that goes to the Delta deal and continue on down. So for the demo's sake, we're just doing one record with 6 notes for simplicity's sake. So let's go ahead and look at how the import looks here. I go to the prompt in HubSpot for imports. I'm importing deal records, so I'm going to check that box. And then I'm also going to be importing associated activities. And so HubSpot's going to say, what kind of activities are those that you're importing? I'm importing notes, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to go to next. Here's where I upload my files. I'm going to go ahead and upload my file that I just prepared with my notes. And I'm going to be updating deals. So I want to make sure this says updating deals, and then I'm creating new notes. All right, so let's go to next. And let's go ahead and now we're going to map our fields and make sure everything is ready. And the HubSpot tool is great about giving you checks and balances so that you know exactly what you're missing or what steps you need to take in this process. I love all the green arrows. That means these are all good to go. HubSpot wants to know, wait a minute, what's this record ID? Which object does it go to? It goes to the deal property, not the notes property. Otherwise, I'm going to be all screwed up. And then I want to, that deal property is the record ID. So I want to match that up. This is like the key to the whole magic. I'm matching up my record ID. It's a deal property and I'm matching it to the record ID. This is what's going to match the notes all to the same record ID. So I've got multiple notes and they're all going to go into the right place. I'm confident of it. All right, my import is all ready, and now I can take a look and see how it went. So as you can see, I've imported all my rows, and yet I've successfully just updated the one record, which is what I want to do, and it has the 6 new notes associated with it. So let's go see how this looks. So here we are, we have one deal. Remember, we just had the one deal with all the same record ID, and we have successfully imported all of our notes 1 through 6. That is how you import multiple activities into HubSpot objects using the native HubSpot tool. So good luck with your import and thanks for watching.